Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with Leading from the Middle of the Pack, and today we're going to be chatting all about coaching and mentorship, developing future leaders from the middle of the pack. You got to coach those people in order to get them to grow, right? So, cue up theme song. We'll be right back in just a minute.
The big question is this: how are leaders like us, who aren't necessarily in a management position, who go out and get our hands dirty, who are ready to answer their calling from God to lead, who are driven to learn and grow, gain the trust and respect of those around us, to actually be heard while not coming across as an authoritative prick? These are the questions, and this is the podcast that will give you the answers. Hi, my name is Dan Greer, and welcome to Leading from the Middle of the Pack.
Awesome! So glad you guys are still here. Well, so today we're going to be chatting all about coaching and mentorship and why it's so important to mentor people and why it's so important to coach them. And you got to keep in mind, not everybody's coachable. And if you're not coachable, you're not going to be a good leader. If you are coachable, you could be a great leader and you could actually grow and be phenomenal. So there's a lot of things here that we can kind of talk about and discuss in this as we move forward. But today I really want to talk about some coaching principles and practices that you could get into to help your team with, number one. Number two, to help you with personally, because guess what? There's going to be a ton of things that you can do to get coaching to help you grow. So if you're listening to this, you're already taking the first step to get coaching. You've gone out, you've gotten the free coaching that's available for podcasts and stuff like that. Now, the next step is to pay for some coaching. And I'll be honest with you, I've had coaches throughout my entire life. My entire life, but my entire successful life, let's put it that way. And I take that mentorship, I take that coaching seriously. Now, there's a few things you need to remember if you're going to go out and pay for coaching. And this is going to sound crazy. And some people are like, Dan, I've never paid for coaching. Believe me, I thought the same exact thing a long time ago. It's like, nope, answer to this. There's no way that I will ever pay for this. This is a waste of time, a waste of money. But now I'm constantly on the look for a phenomenal coach to help me level up or move to that next step within the game, right? And figuring that out is huge. But so if you're thinking there's no way, that this will ever happen or that I'll ever do this, then guess what? I've been there before. I understand it. Now I'm constantly looking for a good coach. But a few things you need to remember when it comes to finding a coach. First thing is don't be afraid to pay for it, right? I've had coaches that I've paid a lot of money, like more money than some people make in a year. I've had coaches that I've paid very little money. And here's what I found out is the more I pay, the more I want out of it. Doesn't mean that they have to deliver more. It means that I'm hungrier to learn. So what that means is that if I'm hungrier, I'm going to get more out of it. Period. Point blank, end of story. If I'm not that hungry, I'm not going to get that much out of it. Let's say that I pay $5 for a coaching session. Do you think I'm going to absorb as much as if I pay $5,000 for that coaching session? That same 30 minutes that cost me $5, I'm going to pull one thing out of it. And yes, it may change my life. But that session that I pay $5,000 for 30 minutes, I'm going to pull so much out of that. Sorry, guys. I'm going to pull so much out of that because I'm more invested in it personally. There's something about the pain leaving my body of that physical money being transferred over that I have to get that out of it, right? So there's some stuff to keep in mind there. Don't be afraid to pay for it. Number two is you got to find a coach that's going to drive with you. If you're super high paced and you get somebody who comes on the phone and talks like this through the whole conversation, 5 minutes, I'm done. I'm already switching gears. I've finished. I can't do it no more. I just can't do it, right? It's just the end of the rope for me. And I'm like, nope, got to get a different coach. This isn't going to work because I'm way fast paced. Now there's people who love that slow pace. They love that. They love that because it's who they are. It's what they are. So don't be afraid to get people that are going to push you, right? Not people you're going to push, people that are going to push you. And that's what I mean by coaching and mentorship. So if you're looking for a coach, that's kind of some of the things that you want to look for. Somebody that you get along with, somebody who has some similar ideals to you, somebody that's going to push you to the next level, not somebody that's going to drag you back, but somebody that's going to push you forward. Sometimes that's speed, sometimes that's pace, sometimes that's accountability. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. Now, the next thing you got to remember, we've talked all about you finding a coach because it's important. Find somebody who can drive with you. Find somebody who can work with you. I'll tell you, we just opened up a DOT coaching program. It's been absolutely phenomenal. We're pushing people to the next level left and right. It's so cool. It's so crazy. And yeah, it does cost a little bit. It's like $247 a month or something like that. If you're a member, if you've got an Eclipse DOT membership, we knock the price down quite a bit. So you can save just by being a member, having a membership with us. Anyways, my point is like, it's fun to be a coach. It's also fun to be coached. And I learn a lot whenever I'm coaching others as well, because I have to go back and start from scratch and work my way forward, which is really good for me because I'm up here, right? Or here, right? And other people are here, and bridging that gap between all of this crap that came between them is hard, right? All the ups and downs that go between where I started and where I am now. And we're constantly in ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And so just kind of want to like throw that out there and get that thought process going, is that there's a lot of different ways that you can get coaching personally. Now, let's talk about how you coach others, because this is going to be big as well. And you're probably thinking, you're like, Dan, this is where I really wanted this podcast to go. Well, good, because here goes. I'll take a drink, and then we're going to get started. Drinking some bone broth. I know, sounds crazy, but like I feel really good after drinking bone broth, protein, unreal. Replace coffee with it. Anyways, I digress. I got distracted. My point is what we're talking about now is we're going to be talking about how to coach others. Now, there's a couple different ways you can coach others. Now, we've talked about the difference between bosses and leaders. Bosses bark at people. Leaders inspire them. Leaders motivate people by inspiring them to be better, by inspiring them to put in more effort, by inspiring them to do their best. Whereas a boss, they almost scare people into bettering themselves. If you don't get better, you're going to be fired. If you don't do this, you're going to do this. Right? So there's a huge difference there. When we're coaching others, it's a lot of the same way. Whenever I first started coaching, I wanted to come in and I wanted to help people excel past where they needed to be. And what I had to figure out as a coach was that some people get to certain stages and have to stay there for a while. Like there's several different types of people that when you're coaching them. One is the person like me, who's balls to the walls until it's done. Like yesterday, I was mowing the lawn, and we got a pretty big lawn, right? Pretty big. It's not really lawn; it's weeds. But we live where there's no irrigation. But anyways, I'm mowing the weeds, and it's pretty big. But like I started at like 8:00 in the morning, and I finished up at like 2:30 in the afternoon. And I took one little break for like 15 minutes to get some water in between there, and that's just the type of person I am, right? That's the person I am. I'm the person who's going to start and go until I get done. I'm going to push hard and get finished. Like I'm going to work through the heat of the day in order to get it done. That's who I am. That's how I do it. And so when somebody coaches me, I know that I need a coach that's going to push me hard until the end and then go, okay, celebrate. Have yourself a sparkling water. Do whatever, right? Like this is how you're going to celebrate this. Okay? Now, there's other people who want to do it in stages. Now, my wife is like this. I absolutely love her to death, and it's great that she's different than me. She goes out and she works for an hour, and she busts her butt for that hour, and then she switches gears and does something else for an hour. And then she comes back and does something else. She works on the lawn for a little bit more for an hour. And then she goes and does something else for an hour. And then she goes back and does this for an hour. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, so she gets to a certain point. She says, okay, this is what I'm going to do. She gets to that, whether it takes an hour, whether it takes 10 minutes, whatever. She does that, and then she moves on, right? So she gives herself a goal, either a time-oriented goal or a get this much done goal, and then she moves on so she doesn't get burnt out. Whereas me, I'm the person who's going to blow through it until it's 100% done, and I won't be burnt out until the very end. Whereas she doesn't allow herself to get burnt out. Now then, there's when you're coaching, there's another set of people there that you got to worry about as well. This other set of people are the people who don't know how to set goals yet. And you have to coach them in order to set goals and get it done. And they have to have accountability. Now, I struggle with making people accountable. Like, I'll be 100% honest with you. That's one of the things that I struggle with the most is like, I'm really good at personal accountability. And I feel like everybody should be as accountable as I am. If you say you're going to have something done by Tuesday, it's done Monday, right? Like, and sometimes things slip off the radar. I'm not going to lie to you. There are times that I say, oh, yep, I should have this done, and I don't have it done. 100%. I forgot about it. Slipped off my mind. So I'm not perfect, okay? But there are people who don't know how to get started. They're too scared of the task in order to get started. So, like, let's say that I came to you today and I said, hey, I need you to build a complete DOT program from the ground up for these 5 companies. You would probably be like, I don't know where to start. And you would be paralyzed because you would be analyzing it too much. Now, there's a lot of people like this out here. And so when you're a coach, you have to remember that when you're coaching other people, that you've got to start slow and work your way up. If I came in right away and I was like, okay, we're going to do this, and it needs to be done by Friday, you're going to be like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what do I do, right? Like, and you would just be paralyzed. But if I came in and said, okay, first thing I want you to do is write 5 emails. Boom, done. Okay, that's done by noon. Next thing I need you to do is do this. All right, now tomorrow I want you to do this, this, and this. Okay, now the next day I want you to do this, this, and this. Now the next day I want you to do this, 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 and that. And then by Friday you've done all 15 things that I labeled out, or more, probably 20 things, because I gave them to you slowly. I trickled it through. The best way I can explain it to me is like irrigating. Have you ever irrigating? Most people probably don't know what irrigating is. Irrigating is watering crops, or your lawn could be irrigated as well. Let's say that I go dump 5,000 gallons of water on my lawn, and I just put it all in one spot, and I put it all in. It goes on the lawn that fast. What's going to happen? Well, if you live where I live, there's going to be a ton of erosion because we don't have a great lawn. We have weeds, right? But if you put it on a great lawn with great grass system, you're still going to have a little bit of erosion, but it's all going to go right here and go down, right? Like it's not going to actually go into the soil. Now, what happens if I take that same 5,000 gallons and instead of over a minute putting it on the lawn, I put it on over a month? What happens then? It goes down and it saturates. And it gets even deeper, and then more is absorbed because then it comes back up. The roots absorb it because the moisture is driven down deep into the soil. So there's, when you're coaching, you want to irrigate like that. You don't want to give your knowledge all at once and overwhelm people. When you're trying to get somebody to grow, when you're mentoring them, you really want to sprinkle it out so that they don't realize they're getting coached. Like, they may realize they're getting coached, but you want to sprinkle it so that they can absorb it. Right? Does that make sense? You guys getting this? Okay. So the other thing that I really want to chat about here real quick is like how to determine who should be getting coached. Right? Who needs mentorship? Everybody needs mentorship. Everybody needs coaching. And there's somebody on here that's like, nope, I don't need it. I'm too good for this. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. But the truth is that everybody needs coaching. Everybody needs mentorship. People like Tony Robbins, $8 billion a year annually, not net worth, annually is what his companies bring in. He still gets coaching from others. He still listens to other people. And you have to be coachable. So that's one of the other things is like whenever I'm looking for somebody who wants mentorship, they have to want it. If somebody thinks they're perfect, they don't want it. I know so many people, they go, oh yeah, I'm coachable. And then you tell them something, and they go, I don't agree with that. And they start getting all huffy. And that's not being coachable. Being coachable is, I say, we need to send out 7 emails a week. 1 a day, every day of the week. And you go, okay. And you figure out how to make it happen. That's being coachable. You don't go, oh, that's too much. Oh my gosh, I'm going to overwhelm people. Oh my gosh, nobody will look at my stuff. Oh man, I'm going to start getting spammed. Going up with excuses. That's not coachable. If I tell you that you need to eat more protein and less carbs and less whatever, right? And you go, oh no, protein makes you fat. I don't want to be fat. Whatever. Right? You're not coachable. Okay? So you have to look for those people who are coachable. You got to look for those people who want the growth. Not the people who want it for free, but the people who are willing to work for it. Somebody who wants it for free is not going to be coachable. They're always going to be looking for the easiest possible solution to get there, which is great. I'm always looking for the easiest possible solution. But when things get hard, those people will fail. and I don't want them to fail on you as a coach or a mentor. Okay? So, a few things to remember. Everybody needs a coach. Everybody needs a mentor of some kind. Even if you don't pay for it, you need it. Don't be afraid to pay for it, though. I'm telling you, if you knew what I spent on coaches, you would be shocked. And I would do it again in a half heartbeat. And I'm actually currently looking for a coach right now for storytelling. So if anybody listening to this knows a great storyteller coach, hit me up. Shoot me a message on any of the social media platforms at Real Dan Greer, and give me some people to reach out to. I've reached out to a couple of them, and I'll be honest, I'm committed to this. I'm not $100,000 a year committed to this yet, but I'm committed to this. So if you have somebody who would be an awesome coach to help me figure that out, I'm all ears. I'm also always looking for coaches in business to help me grow. So business people who've successfully been there and done that, who want to help somebody else, always looking for that as well. So you have to be coachable. Everybody needs a coach. Don't be afraid to be a mentor. Don't be afraid to pay for it, right? Don't be afraid to mentor somebody else as well or coach somebody else. But when you're coaching them, remember, you can't do the flood effect. You can't throw all of your information at them at once. You need to trickle it out to them. That way they can kind of absorb it, because you want that information, you want that knowledge to go deep into them. Then you want it to slowly come back up. Okay? All right, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you take some of this to heart and you start doing a little bit more coaching with other people, and maybe even consider joining our .docs coaching program or DOT coaching program for DOT programs and stuff like that, so that you can grow in that aspect. All right, chat with you guys later.